very good morning students. Today we will do a revision of one chapter, that is 7th chapter of history. Chapter name it is Tribes, Nomads and Settled Communities. So we have seen that one in chapter 2, 3, 4 the kingdom rose and fell. Many Delhi Sultanate, Mughal kings like that they came up and they fell down or they vanished. Even as this was happening, new art, craft and production activities flourished in towns and villages. The kings are coming and going, but it not affected the craft or art of the village area. Over the centuries, important political and social economical development had taken place, but social changes was not the same everywhere because different kinds of societies evolved differently. So if we are looking to the society, we can see there are different social groups are there. So it is the economical activities, social activities taking place everywhere, but not in equal way. In one society itself, some area, some group of people, they will adapt to the new situations very fast. Some societies won't. But the social changes was not the same everywhere because different kinds of societies evolved differently. Then it is important to understand how and why this happened and why these differences that we want to understand. In a large parts of the subcontinent, society was already divided according to the rule of Varna that we have studied in 6th standard. According to the Varna system, there was 4 major castes and again outcast people was there. These rules as prescribed by the Brahmins were accepted by the rulers of the large kingdom. The difference between the high and low, between the rich and the poor. So there in the society there was a division, social division or layers of the society in the name of caste, upper caste and lower caste. Then again another one division was there, that is rich and poor. Under the Delhi Sultanate, the Mughals, this hierarchy between social class grew further. Many kings came, but it not stopped the social division. Instead of that, it grown very. It grew more than in the olden days. Then next topic it is beyond big cities, tribal societies. There was many tribal societies. This same topic you want to study in 9th standard and little bit it is there in 10th standard also. So there were, however, other kinds of societies as well. Many societies in the subcontinent did not follow the social rules and the rituals prescribed by the Brahmins. In the main society as well as the tribal society or some of the group of the people, they was not ready to follow the rules given by Brahmanas. Nor were they divided into numerous equal classes, such as societies are often called tribes. Then they was divided in their inside but not in the unequal classes. There was equality and they made into different houses like that. That division was there, not in an unequal way. Members of each tribes were united by kingship bond, means the relation with that, like that in the same group or same clan, like that relation was there. Many tribes obtained their livelihood from the agriculture. And some of the tribes, there was, we studied that one in 6th standard, hunters and gatherers. Some of them was hunters and gatherers, but many of the people, they was finding out livelihood from their agriculture. Other were hunters, gatherers and herders. Some of the people already we said, that is we studied in 6th standard also. Some other groups was herders. They was looking after the goat or sheep or camel, like that. They was moving from one place to another place. Most often they combined these activities to make full use of natural resources of areas in which they lived. And in some this tribal group, there was partially they was settled in somewhere, at the same time they may partially they was nomadic, means the some of the family members, they will go with their animals to herd somewhere or graze somewhere, and those who are doing the agriculture work, they will settle there and they will do that one. So like that, in the when time comes, the favorable time comes, that time they will come back to their own village, those who went with animals. So both of them, both things, they was joined together or combined together, and they was finding out the resources for their livelihood, or they was making use of the natural resources of that area. Some tribes were nomadic and moved from one place to another, but in some group they was never settled or never started any agriculture. Instead of that, they was moving from one place to another place. A tribal group controlled land and pasture jointly and divided these amongst households according to its own rule. Each and every tribal group having their own rules and regulations. They are having the land that is controlled by a community, not by individual, and it is divided into in this among themselves according to the number of household and other things. That is particular according to their particular rule. Many large tribes thrived in different parts of the subcontinent. They usually lived in forest, hills, desert, and places difficult to reach. Sometimes they clashed with the more powerful caste-based societies. In various ways, the tribes retained their freedom and preserved their separate culture. Then they was living in different parts of the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, and we know that they was living in the forest and hill areas, even in desert, and some places normally people can't reach that area also. Then there was having the fight between the caste based society, or in between tribals also there was clash between. Then anyway, even though they are getting the coming together with this caste based society, then also they was keeping their own freedom and as well as their culture. Instead of going changing their group into the caste based society, they was keeping their culture as it is. Then who were the tribal people, and we want to understand who are tribals, what it mean. Contemporary historians and travels give very scanty information about tribes. So the historians, they are giving, even the travelers, they are giving very less information about the tribals. Few exemptions apart, tribal people did not keep written record. Very few tribal groups, they are having the written documents. Others are not keeping like that any written records, but they preserved rich customs and oral tradition, folklores, folk stories and songs. They are having their own dance forms are there. With that, they are transmitting their information, their knowledge to next generation. Oral tradition, that is most important thing for them, as well as they are keeping their custom as it is. But these preserved rich customs and oral traditions, these were passed down to each new generation. Present day historians have started using such oral tradition to write tribal histories. From these folk songs, folk stories, from that we are understanding the history of the tribals, what happened in last generation, before last generation, like that historians started to write about the tribals. Tribal people were found in almost every regions of the subcontinent. The area and influence of the tribe varied at a different point of time, and some of them becoming powerful for some time, and then they will decline. How the kings came with powerful and how they declined, like that the same thing happened, and in some area it is becoming more important, some more powerful, like that. Some powerful tribes control large territories. In Punjab, the Khokharas tribe was very influential during 13th and 14th century, and before British period they was very much powerful, and they was influenced all the Punjab means not the present Indian Punjab, it is half part, it is there in Pakistan also. Then later the Khakharas become more important. So the first tribal group who was important, that is Khokars, then Gakaras become. Their chief Kamal Khan Khakkar was made a noble, means Mansdar, by Emperor Akbar. Means when it was in the time of Mughal king. So King Akbar made one of their chief as a Mansdar or noble. In Multan and Sindh, the Sindh present it is in Pakistan, Lahans and the Arguns dominated the extensive regions before they were subdued by the Mughals. They was ruling many area, not only small area, almost Punjab they was control, or more than that they was controlling under them. The Balachis were another large and powerful tribes in the northwest. If we are looking another one group, that is the Balachis, then they were divided into many smaller clans under different chiefs. They was having the small how we are divided ourselves as a district or the taluks, like that. They was divided into small groups, that is known as clans, and each clans have a chief. In western Himalaya lived a shepherd tribes of Hadis, and the distant northeastern part of the subcontinent too was entirely dominated tribes, that is Nagas, Ahams, and many others. We will study about Ahams later. So there was on the northeastern side also there was very big tribal group that is names are Nagas. Nagaland, it came from this Nagas. Then Ahams and many other group. In many area of the present day Bihar, Jharkhand, Chero chiefdoms and had emerged by 12th century. Raja Man Singh, Akbar's famous general, attacked and defeated the Cheros in 1591. So the area of Bihar and Jharkhand, that is was a single state before and divided into two, and this area was under the control of Cheros. That is another one group of kings, Indian kings, and it is defeated by Raja Man Singh, that was the Akbar's general. Those who are not underlined, please underline. And when Cheros defeated by Akbar in 1591, a large amount of the booty was taken from them, and but they were not entirely subdued. They got many things, jewels and valuable things from them, but they was not able to make everyone under the Mughal kings. Under Aurangzeb, Mughal forces captured many Cheros fortress and subjugate the tribe. Then again Aurangzeb's time also they fight against these Cheros and they taken them. The Mundas and Sandals were among the other important tribes that lived in the region and also in Orissa and Bengal. Another one group, that is Mundas and Sandals, and there was in Bihar, Jharkhand and Orissa, Bengal area they was lived. Okay, in the map we can see that one where the tribes lived. Then the Maharashtra highlands and the Karnataka were home of Kolis, Barats and numerous others. Kolis also lived in many areas of Gujarat. Further south there were large tribe population of Karangas, Vetas, Maravas, and many others. Please underline in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Gujarat which group was in number wise or important one, that was Kolis. Then in South India, means the Tamil Nadu and Kerala, we are having Koragas, Vetas, Maravas and many others. Still we are having like that groups in the means tribal groups in our states. The large tribes of Bhils were spread across the western and central India, and by the late 16th century many of them had become settled agriculturists and some even zamindars. Many Bhils clans nevertheless remained hunters and gatherers. The Gonds were found in great number across the present day state of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. That is another one group was that there in the central area, that was the Gonds. Then in and many of them they become agriculturists and some of them become zamindars also. Okay, we will continue in next video.